Mr Joyce, given the big role that you and the Nationals will play in the climate policy debate that's currently underway within the government, I want to ask a threshold question. Yeah. Do you accept that it's unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean and land, that human influence has warmed the climate at a rate that's unprecedented in at least the last 2,000 years, that global warming of 1.5 degrees and 2 degrees will be exceeded during the 21st century unless deep reductions in CO2 and other greenhouse gas emissions occur in the coming decades, and that the intensity, frequency and duration of fire weather events are projected to increase throughout Australia? Do you accept that's our best understanding of the science?
Well, I really don't like when questions are presented like that, because it sounds like you're at a baptism on behalf of your child, denouncing Satan and all his works and all his deeds, and on and on and on it goes. If the question you ask me is, do I believe that humans have an influence on the climate? Yes, I do.
How much for you?
But look, and if you then walk into the frame of saying, I'm now going to grab you by the ear and make you comply with everything I say, and I won't do that because it's a free nation, and I can say and think what I like. And so
these are statements from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Have you read that report?
I've been through whole sections of that report, and I could go through the lead authors' reports in South Africa, the further reports from Kathmandu. I can go through sections of who makes up the actual lead authors in that. But this turns into this sort of parochial partisan process. I'm going to do and make sure I'm part of my nation, the commitments that we have made. That is my job. And we have met every commitment. In fact, with the Kyoto commitments, the reason they were met was not by urban Australia. Regional Australia met those commitments. We paid with them by the divestment of our property, the divestment of our vegetation and rights. I'm not quite sure where you live, but I imagine it is in Canberra or Sydney. Which one?
Canberra.
Okay, your emissions went up. You are part of the problem. Regional Australia was part of the solution.
With respect, Mr Joyce, you're the government. This is an this is the IPCC statement of the latest science. Sure, so I just want to know whether the starting point is that factual summation of the science.
And I've told you I'm not going to stand here and sort of be berated into complying with a thing that sounds awfully like the statements that one gives in regards to their child at a baptism, or it is I will work with the agreements our nation has made.
With respect, and I will, Mr Deputy Prime Minister, it sounds like you don't accept this science.
I've given you the premise of why. Because you basically came up with a sort of a whole litany of things and say, do you agree or are you some sort of reprobate? That is the inflection in your question. And I won't comply and participate in a debate like that.
Just to be clear, these are statements from the IPCC report.
I know that. I know it's the way you presented them, and I'm just telling you right now. It is my right to say what is my job as a politician, to comply with the agreements that we have signed up to. You asked me, do I agree that have humans had an influence on the climate? Yes. But I'm not going to participate in some sort of kangaroo court of now you will agree to every statement I say because the IPCC said it.
Mike Foley from the Sydney Morning